So Rita Bahuguna Joshi of the Congress Party, Kamal Faruqui of the Samajwadi Party, political analyst, and Jaynarayan Vyas they're going to be joining us in a minute, and Pinky Anand of the BJP. Mr. Kamal Faruqui, you know, there's a state government inquiry on. What more do you want? There's a state government inquiry on now, unless you want to completely politicize it. What do you want?
No, there's no question of politicizing the whole thing. There is no question of politicizing the whole thing, but the fact of the matter is that it has crossed the state boundaries. It has gone beyond Gujarat. The lady has travelled outside the state. So it becomes a pan-national issue. And I personally feel, though Mr. Shinde has not yet said in so many words, but if the Honorable President has referred the petition from the NGO.
No. So you are saying you are saying who was tapped outside Gujarat? Who was being tapped? You're saying the lady was being tapped outside Gujarat?
The lady has been, the lady has been followed in the aircraft when she reached over there. Even there is also, all these reportings are there by the media.
Followed in aircraft or tapped?
One second.
Was her phone tapped? Rita Bahuguna Joshi, was her phone tapped? Was she put on surveillance? Do you have proof of that? Where is the proof?
I want to say that if the tapes, the audio tapes that have become public now are in the public domain, if they are true, yes, she was traveling outside Gujarat and she was being followed, she was under surveillance all through by all the agencies of the government of Gujarat, and the worst by the anti-terror squad. Now the country wants to know, after all, what was the urgency of putting the anti-terror squad, which is there to defend the country from terrorism, behind a woman who was under surveillance for what reason?
Ms. Joshi,
you want to know the reason?
No, Ms. Joshi, you are saying that the Gujarat Home Secretary is not empowered to order the tapping of the phone of this person outside the state of Gujarat. That's your basic point, right? Pinky Anand, she's actually right.
Yes.
A Gujarat Home Secretary can order the tapping of the phone inside the borders of Gujarat.
Within the state.
Now you tell me which rule. Tell me, Pinky Anand, under which rule was surveillance done in multiple states? You answer, Rita Bahuguna Joshi.
You know what I like about Rita Bahuguna Joshi's statement is to say, if the tapes are correct.
Yeah.
So, you know, can we start from somewhere, Arnab, to say the situation? You start from a premise that you do not take the authenticity of the tapes to be correct. Even Rita Bahuguna Joshi says, if it is correct. So therefore, you know, we should first start with the mandate of saying, if the tapes are correct, and then go with the next position. We can't go by hypothesis after hypothesis. The State Commission appointed.
No, but we are a society governed by the rule of law.
Arnab, the rule of law says that please first get into the situation where you have the first fact clear.
No, but privacy is an integral part. Privacy is an integral part of the right of a part of individual liberty. Privacy.
Exactly. Whose privacy, first of all. Secondly, if the first premise is not correct or not authenticated, rule of law says you must proceed one at a time. It is like saying, if somebody has murdered whereas there is no murder in the first place, you can't assume a lot of features and then start on to the next and then talk about rule of law. Arnab,
no, of course not, but I'm quoting. No, watch it.
Mandate, one of them, Arnab,
I think
one of the mandates of the commission is specifically to go into the authenticity of the tapes. If you first get that proposition, then maybe
I will just read out.
Might follow. Otherwise, there is no question of that in any case. Secondly, you cannot start a witch hunting.
Who is a witch hunting?
Witch hunting by the process at the BS. I'll tell you where the witch hunting is. You can't start the witch hunting on the premise again.
Kamal Faruqui is rebutting you.
Saying something has been done.
Kamal Faruqui is rebutting you.
We do not want any intervention by the media. Where are you going?
First of all, Mr. Arnab, kindly correct me if I am wrong. It is not the commission, it is the committee. It is the committee which has been appointed by the government.
You're totally wrong.
It is not the commission.
It is a commission under the Commission of Inquiries Act.
If I am wrong,
please get your facts correct. It is not a committee.
Which is only recommendatory, which is not binding on anyone. Which is only recommendatory and not binding on anyone.
Yes. And that too by a junior officer of the same state government.
Sure.
So, secretary.
But that's not what we are talking about.
Officer to be changed, somebody you like, in comparison to what you were saying should be a junior officer. The question is, you have a High Court judge, you have an officer of the Gujarat government, and incidentally, it will always be somebody junior or senior or a colleague. So you will always have some implication or the other to say. You have a commission under the Act.
So what do you have something to hide?
It is a fact-finding body.
Which
is going to give
but Pinky Anand, basic question is,
if anybody,
basic question is, and this question is going to be asked to Jaynarayan Vyas. Mr. Vyas, welcome. To put it very simply, don't mind, is there something to hide? If you presume, yes or no? First of all, let's get a clear answer. Do you have anything to hide? Mr. Vyas, can you hear me? Do you have anything to hide?
Yeah, I don't think, Arnab, see, the issues are different.
No, do you have something to hide?
The issues are different. You know,
do you have anything to hide?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Then tell me. Okay, fine. Fine. Then when
Arnab,
surveillance has been, no, allow me.
Arnab, I may qualify.
Allow me.
Let me
Why
qualify my statement.
Allow me.
Let me qualify my statement.
Why
I am saying so?
Why? You're looking nervous.
This is going to come under scrutiny. Number one, Pradeep Sharma has moved the Honorable Apex Court of this country, where he is quoting the similar complaint.
Mr. Vyas.
Now,
Mr. Vyas, Mr. Vyas, you're going to, I'll tell you something. I warn you, Mr. Vyas, you're going to tie yourself up in knots on the Newshour tonight. Because you as a lawyer,
no, there is no problem.
When you as a lawyer try to deflect the law in your reading of the law, then you're going to tie yourself up in knots, because you know more than anyone else on the panel that since the State Home Secretary is empowered to order tapping of the phones within a state, in this case surveillance is done in multiple states, permission of the Union Home Secretary was mandatory. In such a scenario, isn't it well within the domain of the central government and Sushil Kumar Shinde to intervene? Because it's not limited to Gujarat.
Arnab, you are now walking into my domain.
You are deep within my domain, and I can answer the question.
Let me first tell you that the very debate that you are making is relying upon something which is yet required to be established.
There, you have the same line of argument as Pinky Anand. That's the only argument both of you have.
The very people, understand, let me complete. No disturbance, please. Let me complete. No argument should be interfered, please.
You're tying yourself up in knots.
You have read that qualifying, you have read that disclaimer. You have read that disclaimer that we don't vouch for the authenticity of this material. Now the material authenticity of which in itself is a big question mark.
Sir, I ask you.
That is the first question mark that will have to be
Sir, I ask you. No, then Amit Shah should come out and say it's not my voice.
Ask me after I complete.
No, where is Amit Shah? Where is Amit Shah?
When I complete.
Where is Amit Shah? Why doesn't he say it's not my voice?
Wherever he is comfortable.
What do you mean comfortable? He has to tell us if it's not his voice. Why is he hiding from that? Let's have a voice recognition test.
Citizen of this country.
Rita Bahuguna Joshi, should we have a voice recognition test? Will that help?
Absolutely. Have you got that?
No, do it.
My question is to you. Have you got that voice?
Have you denied it?
Test?
Have you denied it? My question, have you denied it? Rita Bahuguna Joshi debating you now. Miss Joshi. Miss Joshi to Jaynarayan Vyas.
I have just three
Rita Bahuguna Joshi to Jaynarayan Vyas.
Now,
related questions, please.
You are precisely on a weak wicket.
Pinky Anand
you are on a
came with an
now listen to Miss Joshi of the Congress Party.
A commission.
1 second, Miss Joshi.
I want to ask this very question that in public life, if a public face is brought into the dock for certain reasons, he always says, I'm prepared for any inquiry. Now the silence of Mr. Amit Shah, the silence of Mr. Narendra Modi, who is very vocal on every issue in his public meetings, on this particular issue, certainly creates doubts. And the hurry with which they set up a commission clearly indicates that they want to get over this embarrassment. Now, as far as commission goes, Ms. Pinky Anand, please remember that in 2002, the government hurriedly had set up the Shah Commission. And what happened? They gave a clean chit. And finally, the Apex Court said that the findings of the Shah Commission were not based on appreciation of evidence, but on imagination. And then they hurriedly brought in another member in the commission, which made no difference. So we doubt. You see, there can be no fair investigation by a commission of members who have closely worked with Mr. Amit Shah and with the government. So please,
1 minute.
Please let us understand this is only a Modi save.
He complained about bugging his cabin.
And I'm asking
The
you one
finance
question.
minister called Arnab
Why are
Mukherjee.
you objecting? Why
His
are you
cabin was bugged.
objecting?
He complained to the Prime Minister. What have you done to that? You have got no moral authority to talk on these issues.
Why don't you allow the judge
Congress
of the
has
Supreme
absolutely
Court,
no moral authority
Supreme
to
Court
talk on these
to
issues.
take
This
up
is
the
rubbish.
matter?
This
We
is
are
not
only asking
established.
for an inquiry.
This is something
by a
which is
Supreme
not
Court
established.
judge. You
This
are
is out of
scared
your imagination
because
you are talking.
there are doubts. Your leaders are not coming up.
This is absolutely rubbish. It is not established.
No, Modi ji is speaking. He speaks on every issue. Why does
Under the Evidence Act, whether this will be taken as a valid evidence as it is the big question mark.
And what is the reference of the commission?
No, watch
to
it.
find out whether the tapes are authentic
Can
or
we just
not,
settle it?
one,
Mr.
and how they
Vyas,
came
you're
to
getting very
public
passionate
domain.
tonight. One second. You're getting very passionate.
I am not
You
getting
have
very
to
passionate.
One second.
I am enjoying the
Mr.
debate.
Vyas, 1 minute. Allow me, indulge me 1 second,
Why
please.
don't you want an inquiry?
1 minute, Mr. Vyas, have the patience.
Why don't you want...
Mr. Patience, I shall read Arun Jaitley. I shall read Arun Jaitley to both the BJP leaders. And I think at least, many things they disagree with me. I think they will not disagree with Arun Jaitley. On the basic fundamental premise, okay, Jaynarayan Vyas and Pinky Anand, please listen. Mr. Faruqui wants to respond, but after this. This is Arun Jaitley. In the year 2010, in the month of April.
When Snooping took place of his phone.
Can I read? Will you block me from reading him?
Please.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Arnab, you will provide us a good clue.
Do I need... No, 1 second. On a lighter note, do I need Amit Shah's permission to read what Arun Jaitley said in Lok Sabha? Lighter note. Okay. Now this is what Arun Jaitley says.
Please proceed.
Arun Jaitley says, the use of intelligence agencies for the purpose of recording conversations and bugging phones is a subject which acquires extreme importance. Let us not forget, we are a society governed by the rule of law, and as a society governed by the rule of law, the Home Minister himself present here to answer this debate as an eminent lawyer himself. In our constitutional scheme, we shall appreciate that privacy is now recognized as an integral part of individual liberty. The right to privacy, Pinky Anand, please listen, and the right to be left alone, Arun Jaitley's words, which is a right not to be interfered by others by eavesdropping, by bugging. This can only be infringed by a machinery which is provided for by law. This cannot be infringed in a manner which is wholly unauthorized. Now listen to the other part. 1 second. Now 1 second.
Can we respond
Arnab,
to
will
this?
you
No,
please
1 second.
oblige us telling in what context Mr. Jaitley made this observation?
Oh, in the context of his, in the
what
context on the
context
floor
is
of the
yours
house,
to make this observation?
on the floor of the house when Chidambaram,
It was established that he was being followed, he was being bugged, his telephones were being taped. A leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha is venting out his pain.
Sorry.
yes, and how does the rule change?
Vyas, you are a very learned person.
How does the rule change? I am asking you.
Here this has not happened.
No, 1 second. Who's responding to Mr. Vyas? No, Mr. Faruqui or Mr. Rita Bahuguna Joshi?
Precisely not an
Who's responding to Mr. Vyas?
You are comparing apples with the oranges.
No, I am
You
not.
are comparing apples with the oranges.
No, I am not.
This is not the identical
No,
case.
I am not.
This is not the identical
No,
case.
I'm not, and you know you are on the defensive, which is
Absolutely
why you are heckling tonight on the
Absolutely
news.
not.
Mr. Faruqui is responding
I
to you.
refuse to agree with you.
Mr. Faruqui.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Vyas, these are the same apples which we are referring. Now you have already confirmed.
But
that a
talk
lady
in a
has been
entirely different
followed.
context.
Please,
The
Mr.
context
Vyas,
is distorted.
Mr. Vyas, I was listening. Mr. Vyas, I was listening to you very carefully. Please understand. Whether you are referring to the apples, both these apples are of the same quality and same quantity. Now Mother, your office, head office has already released a letter of the father of the girl.
Accepting it.
Which has been said. So it means that it is established. It is established that she was followed. This is established. How she was established? She was followed by the ATS and by the forces, which are not supposed to get into this. Number 3, that she was followed not only in Gujarat, she was followed outside also in the aircraft and all those. Now these things, why Amit Shah and Modi ji, who is a prime ministerial candidate, why Amit Shah is not coming clean? Because whatever I and you and Pinky ji is talking, it's a debate only. It will not be used anywhere as a witness. Why Amit Shah Sahab is not coming out? He should explain whether it is true or not.
Even if Mr.
Pinky Anand is responding. Pinky Anand. Pinky Anand, please, let's one at a time. Pinky Anand is responding. The debate is fast. We have 5 minutes to the break. Pinky Anand first and then Rita Bahuguna Joshi. The response from Pinky Anand.
When you quoted Arun Jaitley's statement and talked about snooping, it was Mr. Arun Jaitley who was the complainant, who was being harassed, whose phone was being tapped, Today, the parallel situation would have come if the complainant or her father had said, we are being harassed. Arun Jaitley talked about right of privacy and said right of privacy cannot be abridged. In this case, the girl and the father are saying our privacy is being invaded by all of you.
No.
Because
No,
Pinky
Anand.
We got
No, Pinky Anand.
Thirdly,
Not at all.
the third
Pinky Anand.
issue which would arise is
Pinky
how
Anand.
the tapes came to Snoop on
lot
Mr.
of
Amit Shah in
respect
the
for
first place.
Lot of
How did
respect for
Mr.
you.
Singhal...
No, Miss Anand. Miss
How are
Anand.
these tapes done in the course
No,
of
Miss
so many
Anand, there's a
years?
fundamental
Why
difference.
Why the tapes stood lying
Miss
Anand
Anand.
for so long?
Miss Anand.
How were they released as being part of evidence before
Miss
public
Anand,
domain?
you can use any legal argument, but you know the basic point is this, that Amit Shah is not a law unto himself. Let me complete. Amit Shah.
Amit Shah.
Amit
Mr.
Shah.
Amit Shah's phone was supposedly tapped. How was that tapping done? Please answer.
No,
that
1 second.
question.
Well, first, let me
No,
don't.
Let us check out.
Don't put the ball back in this. No, 1
If and
second.
when that is done, Mr. Arnab, only in that situation you can go forward.
Misuse of an entire government machinery unlawfully to snoop on a girl, to put her under surveillance.
You are talking about as if there has been.
It's not an individual matter.
Is the tape authentic?
Yeah.
Does anybody
There are
deserve to prove that or not?
There are two aspects
if
of
that
this
is not
case.
proved, nothing else
The
goes
first
forward.
is violating
Calm
the
down 1
privacy
second.
of a young woman, of a citizen. The second aspect is that the government machinery was blatantly
The young woman is claiming it is her request
to
that
put
was
a girl under
adhered
surveillance.
to.
Now, how do you explain that? If a chief minister and a home minister, if they blatantly violate the law by using the entire state machinery unlawfully to put child under surveillance, a girl under surveillance, to snoop on her, to stalk on her, well, how do you explain that? It's not an individual case if the girl is not complaining. There's a whole lot of evidence which is now in public domain. The government must answer.
Where is the evidence? Which evidence are we talking about? Are you possibly talking
they must
about
come out.
tapes
Why is
which
Amit
have
Shah
been
not
released by an
coming?
accused,
Amit Shah
which
must come
the
out, come
authenticity
forward
of
and
which has
say
been disputed,
these
the
tapes are
veracity
false.
of which
Okay.
Why do you require a
Is this what
commission
you
to
call
tell you
evidence?
whether the tapes are true or false? Let
Okay,
Mr. Amit Shah say that these are all false.
Can I please will someone on this panel give me 90 seconds? 90 seconds, just 90 seconds for a line of questioning which I have here, with your permission, since he raised his hand and he's submitting himself to that line of questioning. Thank you very much. Jaynarayan Vyas, I have 6 questions for you. First, and give me straight answers, is this Amit Shah's voice?
Without getting proper...
Is it Amit Shah's voice?
FSL, you can
Yes, no, or can't say.
I refuse to accept this unless... No, absolutely not.
Okay,
Any test,
second
any
question.
material which has not gone through
Second
appropriate,
question.
this will...
Second question,
My
don't protest too
question
much.
to you, my
Second-
counter question to you, will it be held as the valid evidence under the Evidence Act? And the answer is no.
Second question is, let's
answer
take
is
it to
no.
the forensic laboratory and get a voice recognition test done. You agree? That's the right thing to do?
Well,
What do you
the
mean
law will
well?
take its own course. Why you and I have to agree?
No, but third
Why
point.
you and I have to get it
Third
to the media
point.
trial?
Do you not believe that the father's statement is
Whatever
an
is
acknowledgement?
required by the law shall be
1
done.
second. The father's letter is an acknowledgement that these tapes are true. Yes or not?
That is not just the certifying what all kinds of...
Well, you were using it
they
to
are being
defend
built up
yourself
by
2
Congress.
weeks back. Fourth question.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
fourth
The
question.
letter per se-
Was the father's
letter
statement
per se
released through the
asked for
BJP or
some
not?
help. The letter per se asked for some
Fourth
help
question.
to
Fourth-
look after the girl's well-being.
Fourth
that
question.
does not automatically justify and certify
Fourth-
whatever is being talked about
Fourth question,
tonight.
was the letter of the
Absolutely
father
not.
released by the BJP
I do
or not?
agree with it.
Fifth question, was it used as your defense or
It
not?
was released, so what?
Sixth question, if all of this is not true, why is Amit Shah hiding?
Whether
Come on, sir.
Amit Shah is not hiding.
I told you you'll
Amit
wind
Shah is
yourself
a
up in
public
circles
figure.
tonight.
He is busy with electioning.
Oh,
if
so
he has
busy.
done anything,
Kamal
let the
Faruqui.
law of land take over him.
Kamal Faruqui.
He is not hiding.
Kamal Faruqui wanted to come
I
in.
have a question.
I think we have heard Mr. Modi for each and every small rebuttal which he is making day in, day out. Why he is not making any statement on this? Why Mr. Amit Shah, who is going around, why can't he give his comment to you or any other person just to say whether he has said it or not, right? Why he is not
Arnab,
coming out? Let him say it on the television.
Why not?
It is not. And
This
let
is
them
just
deny
not
that
done.
this letter, which was
This
written
is
by
just
father,
not
is
done.
wrong.
He can't sit over his own judgment.
Who?
You know, did Dr. Manmohan Singh come out with the explanation when Sri Pranab Mukherjee as the finance minister complained about bugging his cabin? Did Dr. Manmohan Singh suo moto came out and said, no, this is not being done, or this is what is the reality? This is just not done. There are procedures.
Mr. Faruqui,
and the government work according to the procedures.
Where a statement was made by the Prime Minister.
The floor of the House.
Yes, Ms. Joshi.
Can I respond?
Yes, Ms. Joshi.
Well, Mr. Vyas, the embarrassment that you just showed and the way you ducked all the questions posed by Mr. Goswami clearly indicates that you are absolutely embarrassed and you have no answer for the people of this country. As far as the Prime Minister goes, he on every subject where you have tried to ask questions, he has answered on the floor of the House.
Rita, have a heart. That is a very difficult
Modi
position.
speaks
even
in
for
every
Arnab to
meeting.
bring.
A small comment on Mr. Modi anywhere in the country and he comes up with a rebuttal. Why is he not saying these tapes are wrong? Why is he not saying that the people are trying to involve me falsely? And I am ready for any kind of probe by any agency.
I have a question,
Let the
Arnab.
Supreme Court judge come forth.
That
Why doesn't he do it?
You have a-
in public life,
Congress wants
in
it.
public life,
You
public
are now
perception
trying to
matters a
dictate
lot.
Mr. Modi's
And we
code
have
of
seen
conduct also.
politicians,
You are
we have
now-
seen honest
Mr. Modi's
politicians
behavior is also
who base their
being
politics
decided
on
by
morals,
Congress.
always saying that we are ready for any kind
in
of
these
probe. I have seen
conversations,
so many,
in these
so many
conversations.
politicians
Now,
say-
when I'm going to take
Let
a break,
Mr. Modi
I
also say.
heard Rita
He wants
Bahuguna
to
Joshi
change-
say.
he wants to change the face of
Rita
politics.
Bahuguna Joshi.
But then he should come forth and
Ms.
say.
Joshi, I heard Pinky Anand say she has a question. I don't know who she has a question for, but I'll take
Rita, and for you, Arnab.
a question for me. Then I'll go into a break. On the other side, I'm not supposed to be taking the questions. I'm supposed to be asking them. But you have a question. We'll come out of the break in 4 minutes. The debate is only warming up. On the other side, if you have one question for me, I have two for you tonight. Pinky Anand, I'll see you on the other side of the break. So we're discussing Snoopgate. Pinky Anand has a question for me. But before that, I have a question for the Congress party. With your permission, Pinky Anand, can I ask that question to Rita Bahuguna Joshi? Ms. Joshi, I believe that by your line of argument is that Amit Shah, your line of argument is that Amit Shah was tapping the girls' phones illegally. Am I correct?
Yes,
No,
but on the instance of Sahib.
Oh, okay, whatever, on the instance of Sahib.
Which
And-
also has been now cleared by the president that he was the chief minister.
Okay, and therefore,
Mr. Rajnath Singh said.
yeah. So you also say that this tapping was done outside the borders of the state of Gujarat,
Sure.
and therefore
Which
it needed the
violates
approval,
the
and
Indian
therefore it
Telegraph
needed,
Act.
and therefore it needed the approval of the Union Home Secretary. I don't know why Jaynarayan Vyas is smiling. Therefore, it needed the approval of the
Certainly.
Union Home Secretary. Certainly.
May not be.
And can you tell me, Ms. Joshi? Can you tell me, Ms. Joshi, if who was doing the tapping? Who all were party in this tapping? The tapping was done through somebody?
It was done at the behest of the, it must have been a Gujarat number.
No,
And
1
it was
second.
done
Through some
at the
telecom
behest of the
companies?
government, the
No,
Home
through some
Ministry, the
telecom
Home
companies or not?
I'm sure. I don't have too much of information.
No,
on this, but
1 second.
this
Then
is
why
all
don't you
what
ask Kapil
requires
Sibal?
inquiry.
Why don't you ask Kapil Sibal, who's a telecom minister, to take action against those telecom companies?
I think you are the best person to ask him.
No, but you
You're the
know,
best
why
person
aren't you
to
doing
ask him
that? Are you
this
being selective in your approach, Ms. Joshi?
No, we want an inquiry by a Supreme Court judge to
No, but are you focused so much on
Because I
Sahib that you're
feel-
not looking?
I
No, no.
feel
Are you focused so much on Amit Shah and Sahib that you're not looking at those who complied in this illegality? If the illegality happened, it must have happened through some telecom companies. Well, you don't talk about that, which proves that you're only looking at it
that
politically.
has to be found out, and anybody who's guilty.
You're only looking at
Anybody
it
who's guilty
politically.
should go in, because you see, unless and until the entire entire case
No,
is
you can't
investigated
be.
properly by an impartial agency, we can't come out with facts who did what. So because you see, the central government will act and they will investigate only when there is some way.
No, Miss Joshi. Now let me complete. I have two more questions. You are from the state of Uttar Pradesh, right? Did you ask the centre to intervene in the case of Durga Shakti Nagpal when a young IS officer was being persecuted terribly by the Samajwadi Party?
Of course. We were
Did you?
always on her side. I was the one person. The Congress was the one person which was speaking from down to above.
Really? And
All of us
what did
were
Mr.
on
Narayan
that
Swamy say?
issue
Mr.
was
Narayan
above.
Swamy said you cannot intervene to review the suspension unless she files an appeal with the Union Department of DOPT. They made all excuses.
Yeah,
Did you?
that's right.
No, 1 second. Did you intervene or pull up the did you intervene in the case of Muzaffarnagar when people were being killed? In Muzaffarnagar, dozens
I
of
don't
people
know
were
what
being
way.
butchered in Muzaffarnagar. Did you intervene?
Of course we did. No.
Did you or did you not?
I think we are going the wrong way.
No, we are going the right way, I
Your questions
think.
are going the wrong way. One, listen, please. No, it's not. One.
No,
the first thing is
you can't just
that
be
these
interested only in this thing.
The first thing is,
no, you want to.
I am representing.
You are
my
wading
party.
into dangerous territory,
I am
Ms.
representing my
Ms. Joshi.
party, and as a party, I feel that the government of Gujarat has to answer serious questions, which are in public domain. So I don't think anything dilutes on this.
I'm
and
not sure.
As a party representative, I demand that there should be an inquiry.
I'm not
by
sure.
An impartial agency, and anybody.
I'm only
or
testing
whoever
everyone's impartiality
is engaged
tonight.
Or involved. And as far as law and order is concerned, it's a state subject.
Responses,
Even
Yati.
Mr. Shinde today evening said that it does not come under his jurisdiction to institute.
No,
inquiry.
responses.
Now the President of India has sent the request of NGOs to the government, and they may ask the Gujarat government to respond. They can't go into direct inquiry.
No, okay, responses. Pinky Anand, Jaynarayan Vyas, two sides of responses, and then we have mutual questions to each other. 5 minutes left, Pinky Anand.
And let the Supreme
I
Court
want to
judge
ask
do
Rita a
it.
couple
Pinky
of
Anand.
questions. This whole statement, as you rightly said, when this happened in other positions, was there any such demand made, for example, in UP, which all sorts of vague answers were given by Rita, but that aside for a moment.
No, the government
Can
was asked.
Rita explain to me
state,
as to
central
why
government asked the
this is
state
the
government
first
to
action
respond.
that happened in this entire
And this
bargain.
is
The
what
first
can
action that
happen.
has come in the public domain is that tapes have been revealed which were an entire transaction of snooping on the part of Mr. G.L. Singhal, who is an accused in a criminal trial, and the matter is under the CBI. Can that be explained as to how?
No, you take that as a fact. No, that's so self-contradictory.
Talking about it at all.
No. You are willing to accept that G.L. Singhal.
Supposedly,
You contradict
by that. If the first act itself of Mr. G.L. Singhal in snooping or tracking or violating the Wireless Act is bad, then nothing further really remains to go further.
One second. It's like saying, it's like saying, one second. No, 1 second. Miss Pinky Anand. Miss Pinky Anand. It's like illegal mining.
Mr. Modi, according to Rita, has been
Miss Anand.
as some kind of accused who should come and answer this
Miss
question in
Anand.
person to her.
Miss
who is
Anand.
the judge. I'm afraid we are answering
No,
questions.
he's a politician.
Miss Anand.
He's a
Involved in
politician.
development of the nation,
When he
which is
rebuts
a far
everything
more
that is said in
interesting
public
activity and a
speeches,
far more
why can't he
pragmatic
speak on
approach
this?
to life.
Let him
I
come
think we
out
need to leave it at that.
frankly
We
and
can't
say,
bring
I
him here.
I have no
If he
involvement.
comes, the third situation,
No,
if
Ms.
he
Pinky
comes,
Anand, it
will
cannot
Rita be
save him on
satisfied
this
if he
before.
says no? I don't understand the
him
entire
say it.
process of this witch hunting process.
No, witch hunting. 1 second. Can I just say one thing? It's like, Miss Anand, like the Reddy brothers, what they have specialized in for a long time in the state of Karnataka, which many BJP senior leaders are acquainted with, which is the fine art of illegal mining. Now, just because they mine illegally, you don't ever say that what they have mined is not iron. They may have mined the iron illegally, but they have still mined iron. Your argument today on GL Singhal saying your argument on GL Singhal that how did he tap the phones? How did he tune into the conversations? The fact is he has tuned into the conversations. You just admit he has tuned into the conversations. So you admit he's illegally tuned into the conversations. And when I will quote to you, when I quote those conversations, you don't want to listen to them.
Being talked about by Rita starts this entire process from GL Singhal producing some tapes which have to be obtained by some kind of tapping, about which there is no query. The queries only goes further into tapes which are disputed.
Some tapes, GL Singhal tells Amit Shah there are 22 to 25 files of phone conversations, including that of the woman concerned, which is a clear indication.
Transaction happening by an accused. There is an entire transaction of snooping by Mr. G.L. Singhal as per his case, what he brings into public domain. We haven't brought that.
No. One sec. Last response to Mr. Faruqui.
You are talking about tapes, the authenticity of which has been disputed.
Mr. Faruqui, 3 minutes left. 3 minutes, Mr. Faruqi.
Failing which we are not satisfied.
Mr. Faruqi, 3 minutes. Mr. Faruqi.
Arnab bhai, are they denying the entire episode? is the letter issued by the BJP headquarters is wrong? Was the letter of the father was wrong?
Yeah.
Is it not a fact that the lady has been...
that is... those letters have been produced and relied upon. There is no issue on that score. Let us not get into that domain.
Why? Why shouldn't we?
No, that's a main
You're talking
issue.
about us.
That's the main issue. Now you are talking about all. It means Shiva and this girl was followed. Are we doing the same thing with the other girls also in the state?
I think you'll have to stop getting into this again, witch hunting process, if I might say so. The girl's father makes a statement saying,
no, it's not
we ask for security. The girl's father makes a statement, please leave us alone. The girl's father says, please respect our right of privacy and do not get into this issue. The girl's father says the girl knows about whatever is happening. That should be the end of the matter somewhere. As far as the tapes are concerned, the authenticity is before the state commission. The Commission of Inquiries Act in terms says when a state commission is appointed, a central commission will not be appointed for the same matter. Now what do you want with that? I mean, how can we get out of this specific mandate, a negative mandate of the Commission of Inquiry which says there is a state commission, you can't set up a central commission, you can't set up any central inquiry either by the same logic.
No, you're warning. You're really warning them tonight, aren't you, Pinky Anand? You're being so aggressive. You're actually warning the other side not to set something up.
I am telling them. I am telling the law
if you're
as it stands.
If you're
browbeating and you're trying to escape inquiry.
Well, you
know what happened to the Shah Commission.
If something is barred by law, Rita, Arnab, if something is barred by law, I'm afraid if you call that browbeating, if that information is being brought forward, then I don't know how one can address any argument either.
Well, on the Newshour tonight, we come to the end of debate number 2 on the Snoopgate twist. The BJP continues to argue that the girl and her father consented. I have only one question tonight, and my question is to Mr. Amit Shah. Mr. Amit Shah, you will not get a platform here on Times Now, but you will certainly be asked the relevant questions. As a believer in democracy, Mr. Amit Shah, you should come and take some questions on the Newshour tonight. All we want to ask you is it your voice or not? Now, Mr. Amit Shah, that will take 10 seconds or even less for an answer. We'll send the cameras the moment you agree. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.